warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Selamat siang, Ibu, Bapak semua. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan, dan salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Alhamdulillah, pada siang hari ini, this afternoon, MGMP English SMP Kabupaten Tangerang present the webinar with the topic Joyful and Interactive English Learning using the Interactive Flat Panel. To the Honorable Mrs. Rahayu MPD, the Supervisor of English SMP Tangerang Regency. Welcome, ma'am, to the webinar. Good afternoon, Mrs. Ayu.
Good
Please repeat the
afternoon,
title.
Miss Siti.
Okay, Mrs. Ayu, it's an honor to have your presence here today, ma'am. Thank you very much. And to the Honorable Mr. Eddie Sutanto, SPD, the Chief of MGMP English SMP, Tangerang Regency. Good afternoon, Mr. Eddie.
Good afternoon all.
How are you, sir?
I'm good, inshallah.
Okay, have you had your coffee, sir?
Yes.
Oke, Alhamdulillah sudah ngopi ya, Pak. Oke, baik. Terima kasih, Pak Edi. To the Honorable Mrs. Elizabeth Aditya SPD, the experienced English teacher of SMP Negeri 4 Curug. Hello, Mrs. Tia. Good afternoon, Mrs. Tia. Okay, Mrs. Tia will be here. And to all the wonderful English teacher who has joined this webinar today. Alhamdulillah, thank God we are gathered here today in this webinar. Hopefully Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God the Almighty, will always bless us and give us all in a good health and in a good condition. Amen. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Siti Maimuna. My colleague, my students, they call me Mrs. Moon. The only moon on earth ya, Bapak Ibu. Bulan yang berjalan-jalan di bumi. Yeah, Mrs. Moon, you all can call me Mrs. Moon. And I'm very thrilled today because we are going to conduct this webinar. We have so many speakers who is ready to share their insights for us, and we cannot wait to have their brilliant ideas today. They're going to share with us, right, Bapak Ibu? Dan kita semua tidak sabar nih untuk menunggu ya Bapak Ibu ya. Baik, Alhamdulillah. Without further ado, please welcome Mr. Eddie Sutanto SPD as the Chief of MGMP English SMP Tangerang Regency to give the speeches. To Mr. Eddie Sutanto, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Moon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Selamat siang semua, salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Yang saya hormati Ibu Pengawas Penanggung Jawab MGMP Kabupaten Tangerang, Ibu Rahayu MPD. Yang saya hormati Ibu narasumber kita, Bu Elizabeth Aditya SPD. Yang saya banggakan rekan-rekan pengurus MGMP Bahasa Inggris Kabupaten Tangerang, serta yang saya cintai seluruh Bapak Ibu guru hebat peserta webinar ini. Puji syukur marilah kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Nah, karena berkat rahmat dan izinnya kita dapat berkumpul bersama secara virtual dalam keadaan sehat walafiat untuk mengikuti kegiatan yang krusial bagi pengembangan profesi kita. Bapak Ibu guru yang luar biasa, dunia pendidikan saat ini tengah bertransformasi ya, dengan cepat seperti atau sebagai garda terdepan dalam mencerdaskan anak bangsa. Kita dituntut tidak hanya sekedar mengajar, tapi juga mampu menghadirkan pengalaman belajar yang berkesan. Selaras dengan tema kita hari ini, Joyful and Interactive English Learning. Jadi tugas kita adalah mengubah ruang kelas menjadi lingkungan yang menyenangkan, di mana siswa merasa antusias untuk berkomunikasi dalam bahasa Inggris tanpa rasa takut. Kehadiran teknologi ya, yang berupa flat panel atau disingkat dengan IFP di sekolah-sekolah kita saat ini adalah sebuah peluang besar. Alat ini bukan hanya sekedar pengganti papan tulis konvensional, ya, melainkan gerbang menuju pembelajaran yang lebih kolaboratif, visual, dan dinamis. Melalui webinar ini, kami berharap kita semua dapat mengeksplorasi lebih dalam bagaimana mengoptimalkan IFP ya untuk memicu kreativitas siswa di kelas. Oke, rekan-rekan sejawat, MGMP Bahasa Inggris Kabupaten Tangerang berkomitmen untuk menjadi wadah belajar ya, dan berbagi untuk kita semua. Ya, mari kita manfaatkan momen ini untuk saling bertukar ide, memberikan kompetensi digital dan memperkuat semangat ya, sesuai dengan moto kita ya, keep on elevating, demi memajukan pendidikan di Kabupaten Tangerang yang kita cintai. Untuk acara webinar seperti ini sebenarnya bisa dilakukan oleh rekan-rekan semua. Nah, karena ini termasuk jenisnya adalah sharing section, jadi diharapkan rekan-rekan bukan hanya dari tim pengurus Kabupaten Tangerang, tapi juga dari rekan-rekan yang ada di gugus bisa mengadakan kegiatan seperti ini. Nah, jika dari rekan-rekan misalnya punya skill apa gitu ya, bisa hubungi saya dan tim untuk menjadi pembicara atau pemateri di kegiatan-kegiatan berikutnya. Kegiatan kita di kabupaten ini, ya di MGMP ini bersifatnya swadaya. Ya. Jadi kami butuh partisipasi dari rekan-rekan semua, tidak hanya tenaga, pikiran, bahkan juga kemungkinan kami membutuhkan juga partisipasi dalam bentuk dana gitu. Karena setiap kegiatan pasti membutuhkan biaya-biaya untuk melakukan kegiatan tersebut. Mungkin dari ketua-ketua gugus, MGMP gugus, bisa lebih berpartisipasi lagi. Mungkin sekian yang saya sampaikan. Ya, saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih sebesar-besarnya kepada seluruh panitia ya yang bekerja keras menyelenggarakan acara ini, serta kepada narasumber yang telah bersedia berbagi ilmu. Ya, selamat mengikuti webinar. Mari kita ciptakan kelas Inggris yang lebih ceria, interaktif, dan bermakna. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Mr. Eddie, for the speech. So yes, kita harus menggunakan teknologi ini, Pak ya, untuk menciptakan, to create our classroom more effective and interactive, especially in English learning, terutama di pelajaran kita bahasa Inggris. Semoga ide-ide yang ter-share hari ini, tersalurkan hari ini, insya Allah kita semua dapat mengimplementasikan ke anak-anak
Ya.
kita semua.
Ya,
Amin.
walaupun ibaratnya TV digital itu masih baru satu per sekolah. Ya mungkin ke depannya yang belum merasakan atau belum menggunakan, suatu saat bertambah unitnya bisa menggunakan media tersebut.
Ya, baik Bapak. Terima kasih Pak Edi. Sehat selalu ya Pak.
Ya, thank you.
Ya, oke. Terima kasih Pak Edi. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, moving to the next agenda for today. Please welcome our supervisor of English, SMP in Tangerang Regency, to the Honorable Mrs. Rahayu, MPD. The time is yours, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Siti Maimunah, our wonderful moderator for today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Nice
I'm
to see you,
honored.
all of you, everybody. It's amazing ya, everyone. Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Ibu.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yang terhormat Bapak Ketua MGMP Bahasa Inggris Kabupaten Tangerang, Mr. Edi Sutanto. Yang terhormat rekan-rekan panitia pengurus MGMP Bahasa Inggris Kabupaten Tangerang yang luar biasa yang hari ini boleh menyelenggarakan satu webinar yang luar biasa yang berkaitan dengan apa yang kita lakukan saat ini. Dan tentunya our speaker ya, Mrs. Tia. Mrs. Tia sudah hadir kah? Sudah ya, Mrs. Tia ya, sebagai guest star lah ya, bisa dibilang ya, untuk berbagi praktik baik tentang penggunaan interactive flat panel. Dan tentunya moderator kita yang cantik, Ibu Siti Maimunah.
I'm honored, ma'am.
Dari
Thank
SMP
you.
Satu Sepatan ya, luar biasa. Saya pernah ke sekolahnya ya, Bu.
Yes, and we've met once, ma'am. You visited my school. I'm so happy that day.
Ya. Oke, thank you very much, teman-teman semua. It is a great pleasure to join this webinar ya on joyful and interactive learning using interactive flat panel ya, judulnya. Oke. Even though we are meeting virtually today, our shared commitment to learn and professional growth bring us together beyond any distance ya everybody.
Yes,
Even though we are Ibu Siti Maimunah in SMPN 1 Sepatan, from Mauk or maybe Tiga Raksa ya, any distance that we are gathered here to show that our dedication, your dedication to continuously improving our teaching practice, especially in creating meaningful English learning experience for our students. In today's digital era, technology has become an essential part of education. The use of interactive flat panel is not only about utilizing advanced tool, I think, but also about designing lessons that are more engaging, and then dynamic, and also student-centered. Through joyful and interactive learning, we can also inspire our students to participate actively, think creatively, and also communicate confidently in English. This webinar, I hope that we can provide the practical knowledge, hands-on strategies that how to use to maximize the use of interactive flat panel, with Mrs. Tia will give to you about sharing knowledge, that maybe already she did it in her school. So let us take this opportunity to share ideas, learn from one another, and explore new possibilities in teaching May this webinar be productive, inspiring, enjoyable for all of us. Yeah, everybody. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for giving me time for give the speech to all of you. Yeah. Wishing you a wonderful and successful webinar session. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Mrs. Ayu.
You're
And
welcome.
yeah,
Miss
as you
Siti.
say, no distance should be a problem for us, ma'am, right? Okay, even I'm in Supatan, Mr. Eddie in Mauk, and Mrs. Tia also in Curug, and Mrs. Ayu self, you are in Tigaraksa already, right? No distance problem for us to have this webinar today. And thank you very much again, ma'am. It's an honor to have your presence here today. Thank you, Mr. Ayu. Have a good day, and may God always bless you. Amin.
Thank you. God bless you too.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I do believe that Mrs. Tia is already here, and we cannot wait to hear her brilliant idea to share with us today. Okay, please welcome to the Honorable, our speaker of today, Mrs. Elizabeth Aditya, SPD, the experienced English teacher from SMP Negeri 4 Curug. To Mrs. Tia, the time is yours. Mrs. Tia, are you there? Miss? Mrs. Tia, are you there? I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Let us check us together. She was here just now. All right, so we'll wait. Welcome, Pak Muhammad Riman. Can you hear my voice? Pak Riman, di on dulu. Nah, can you hear my voice?
Yes, yes, Miss.
Okay, okay. Pak Riman dari mana nih? Where are you from, Pak Riman? Mr. Riman.
I'm from SMP Negeri 2 Mekar Baru, Miss.
Mekar Baru, SMP Negeri 2 Mekar Baru. All right, sir. How is the minat dari siswa di sana, Pak, dalam belajar bahasa Inggris, Pak?
Ya,
Minat untuk belajar bahasa Inggris di sekolah Bapak bagaimana?
ya. Alhamdulillah, Miss, minatnya cukup cukup baik sih dari siswa.
Baik, alhamdulillah.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Dan mereka juga rata-rata kursus di luar jam
Oh,
sekolah.
ada yang terbantu dengan kursus di luar ya, Pak ya?
Iya.
Baik. Sambil menunggu Miss Tia hadir, I would like to greet Miss Fitria from SMP Negeri 1 Jambe. Hello, Miss.
Okay.
Okay, Miss, can you share what are the challenges to teach English in your school, ma'am? The challenge, ma'am.
I think the hardest thing in teaching English in Jambi especially is about improving students' vocabulary, ma'am. Because di sini itu banyaknya lulusan SD itu mereka nggak belajar bahasa Inggris. Jadi bahasa Inggris
I
itu
see.
hanya sekedar mulak-mulak, itu kan berarti kan pilihan ya. Ada yang menyelenggarakan, ada yang tidak. So when I was teaching English in 7th grade, It's same with when I'm teaching English with my daughter, my
With your
5
daughter.
years old daughter. I
Okay.
have to what is it? How to spelling one by one. Yes, this is a table, this is book, this is a pen, like this. Itu sih mem challenge-nya.
Iya.
Sementara kan kurikulum kita udah sangat bagus sebetulnya. Hanya saja
Yes.
mungkin SDM-nya yang belum banyak yang bisa mengikuti. Gitu.
Baik. Semoga Allah mempermudah kita semua ya, Mem.
Yes,
Tuhan Yang Maha Esa insya Allah akan tolong kita untuk berbagi ilmu dengan anak-anak kita. Ya, since we know English is not our speaking language. English is a foreign language for us. So we may not say it's a problem for us, but it is a challenge for us. Am I right?
Yes.
Challenging nih ngajar bahasa Inggris. Ya Bu ya, Bapak Ibu ya semua ya. Baik, saya mau sapa Mrs. Felicia. Is Mrs. Felicia here? Mrs.
here,
Felicia
Miss.
from Tunas Muda.
Tunas Mulia, Miss.
Okay. Hello, Mrs. Felicia. What are your challenges,
Hello.
ma'am, to teach
Okay,
English
Miss,
in your
thank
school?
you. Yeah, can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. Actually, the students from here is graduated from the primary school from here, and some of students really speak English very well, and some students are not from here. So I think this is also a challenge for the teachers. Yeah, sometimes the teachers for the English teachers, there are 4 teachers. We always discuss together, and we also sharing about how to make the students very interesting with the English, and also we began sharing about the materials that really interesting also for the students.
Okay. Wow, there are a lot of students that can communicate in English
Yes,
in your school, yeah, Miss.
because this school is the national plus, Miss. So the main language is English.
I see. Wow, that's great.
Yes, Miss. Thank you.
Wow, and we hope all of us can do the better. What is that? The better ya metode yang lebih baik lah Bu ya.
Yes.
Karena memang yang as I learn this far, they are afraid to say the word in English. They are afraid of making mistakes. They are afraid of being laughed with their friends.
Yes.
Ya kan Bu ya, tapi ya kita sebagai guru hanya memberi motivasi, just say it. No matter how bad your English is, just say it. Kan gitu ya Bu ya. Ya mistakes, yes, mistakes is mistakes. Kalau kamu nggak buat salah ya kamu nanti nggak tahu bagaimana yang benarnya gitu kan ya Bu ya. Tapi insya Allah saya yakin kita semua akan mentransfer knowledge yang kita punya. Alhamdulillah, thanks God, Mrs. Tia is here. Mrs. Felicia, thank you for your sharing ya. Mrs.
You're
Tia is
welcome.
here, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Tia, can you hear my voice?
Hi, Miss Moon, and hi, everybody. Good
All
afternoon.
right. Okay, ma'am. We cannot wait to hear your brilliant ideas to share with us. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please all ears to our speaker, Mrs. Elizabeth Aditya SPD. The time is yours, ma'am. Please.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Moon, for the chance given to me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
I'm sorry, everybody, because there was a technical problem before I entered this Zoom meeting. So I hope this can run well right now. Good afternoon, great teachers.
Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you for the chance given to me to speak in front of you through this webinar. It is an honor for me to speak in front of you all, the great teachers in Tangerang Regency. In this event, I would like to share, and I hope we can share each other about how to make English learning joyful and interactive, especially by using interactive flat panel. So let me start from the first one. So actually, I will invite everybody to join the Mentimeter.
Sure.
Okay, everybody, Pa Yogi, would you please help me to share the link of the Mentimeter in the chat box? Okay, I would like to invite you to answer some of my question in the chat, in the Mentimeter before we start this exposure. Okay, have you seen the Mentimeter, everybody? The first question, how are you feeling now? Okay, some of you may chat by answering the question. The first question is, how are you feeling now? Okay, let me show you and share it. The result of the Mentimeter. Okay, excited, happy, feeling good. Great. I'm okay. Good. Enthusiastic. Okay. Feeling good. Okay, I'm feeling great. Okay, next we move to the second question. My second question will be, do you use interactive flat panel for teaching? Do you use it? There are three options that you can choose. You can choose never, sometimes, or often. I want to see how often do you use interactive flat panel in your school. Okay.
What about the answer is not yet, Miss?
Not yet, so you can answer never. Never means you never use it before. Okay. Oh, 6 people never use it. 6 people sometimes use it. And often, wow, 2 people. Maybe we invite those 2 people later, yeah, to share the experience. Okay, let's move to the next question. Question number 3. What feature do you use in IFP, especially for those who already use interactive flat panel before? Can you share us what feature do you use or what do you use it for? You can write your 1 or 2 words or sentences. What feature do you use or what do you use it for? Is it for displaying the presentation or you use it? Oh, YouTube video. You use whiteboard. Okay. Watching and games. Okay, good. Bamboozle. Great. Whiteboard. Okay. Watching video by cable C, cable type C, yeah, okay. Okay, maybe 30 more seconds. I want to see how often or what do you use it usually for? Is that all your answer? Okay, thank you for your response, everybody. Maybe some of you haven't answered yet, but don't worry. It's okay, we can still continue. we will move to the next part. Yeah. So as we can see before, some of you sometimes use it, but many teachers here never use it before. So in this webinar, we are going to share together how to use IFD or interactive flat panel, especially how to make it joyful English learning. Okay, let me continue with the next material. So let me share once again the materials. Okay, can you see the presentation, everybody?
Yes,
Yeah, ma'am.
Miss.
It's shown already.
Okay, thank you. So, dear teachers, in this webinar today, we are going to see how to make English learning joyful. So first of all, do you all agree with this statement? English learning should be joyful. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely
very.
agree, ma'am. Absolutely agree.
Yes, I hope that every teacher here agree with this statement that English learning should be joyful. It should be fun, it should be interactive and collaborative, of course, to maximize students' potential. And as we can see, today we are using deep learning, pembelajaran mendalam in our curriculum, and one of the principle in deep learning is joyful, menggembirakan. Nah, I hope that the use of IFP can be joyful for the students, especially in learning English. First one, why using interactive flat panel? Because our topic today is using interactive flat panel. Why we need to use? The first one, let me tell you about the features using interactive flat panel. It has a whiteboard with touchscreen function. It has, of course, not as common whiteboard, but it has some additional features. And the second, interactive flat panel has writing and annotating feature. So it supports writing, drawing, highlighting, and annotating directly on the screen. So if you use the common whiteboard, you need to change the whiteboard every time you want to use different color. But using IFP, we can use directly different colors in the same time. We just need to set the color or maybe the thickness of the writing that we want to write. And then the third reason, it is supporting real-time collaboration. It enables real-time collaboration and multimedia integration for our lesson. And then the fourth reason why we use interactive flat panel is because it has unlimited resources. In the Mentimeter before, I see that there was a teacher sharing that they use YouTube video, yeah. So sometimes if you forget to bring your laptop to the classroom, but if you use interactive flat panel, you can directly open the web page, YouTube, you can open or any other games application. Even the government already published Rumah Pendidikan. It is one of the web access that we can, web page that we can use to find unlimited resources. So you don't need to bring your laptop. You just need to save your PowerPoint or your media in your Google Drive or in other clouds. And then you can open directly in the interactive flat panel. And then the last one, the reason why we need to use interactive flat panel is because of the post-class. After class, all activities written on the IFP can be recorded and shared using QR code. Teachers, usually if you write something on the whiteboard and then it takes time, right, for the students to write your notes or the things on the whiteboard. But using IFP, we can directly share our writing on the IFP whiteboard through QR code. that the students can reread again or can share. You can also save it as PDF file. So you can reopen it, the student can relearn again. It doesn't take much time for them to take notes of what you already wrote on the whiteboard. Okay, so overall, interactive flat panel, it is a large touchscreen. It is combining the function of whiteboard and projector in the same time, and it is multi-touch. Many students can touch at once. You can write, you can drag, draw, play video directly on the screen. The next one, what is the difference? As I said before, IFP has the function of whiteboard and projector, but it has some other advantages. In the traditional whiteboard or projector, only teacher write. But in the IFP, multi-students can touch together, they can write together, even they can draw, and we can find some sources directly and put it in the whiteboard. The second one, in the traditional projector, it is projected, but we cannot touch it. But using IFP, it is built-in whiteboard and projector, and it is touchable. The students and the teacher can directly touch and use some features to make it engaging for the students to take part in the games. And then the third one, as I said before, for whiteboard, we need to take photo or ask the students to write in their notebook. But by using, by using IFP, we just need to touch or click one button to save it as PDF or QR. Next, in the traditional whiteboard or projector, you need laptop. But what if we forget to bring our laptop, or maybe suddenly we don't bring the charger? So we can use IFP. It is built in Android and Windows. Or maybe some of your students want to do the presentation. They don't need to, what I said? I'm sorry? For Ibu Kustiati, would you please mute? Okay, let me continue. So, for example, your students want to do a presentation. They don't need to plug in, what do you call it, flash disk or USB in your laptop, but they can directly do their presentation by connecting their mobile phone, and it can be projected directly to their IFP. So this is also one of the advantages using IFP. And then in the traditional whiteboard, if you want to draw something or you write something, for example, it is in the wrong position. So you must clean it first and then redraw it. But using IFP, if you write something or draw something and maybe the position is incorrect, you can just select it, drag and drop, make your writing bigger or smaller, or move it to the other position in the whiteboard. So it is like it makes your teaching and learning process getting easier. Now, let me tell you some of the features of the IFP whiteboard. So teachers, as a whiteboard, it can function in your classroom. You can touch the feature of whiteboard or whiteboard menu in your IFP. This is the layout, yeah, if you see in your school. I hope that all of your school already got one or maybe two of it. And then if you touch this whiteboard application, there are some features that you can use. Number 1 and number 2, brush. Brush is used to write. You can use the digital pen. It is one of the tool in the IFP, or you can also write using your finger. You can also adjust the color and the thickness of the pen and your finger. And then the second one, it is marker. Marker is used to highlight. You can adjust the color and the thickness. It function like stabilo ya, in bahasa we call it. And then the third one, we have select. It is used to select any part in the whiteboard. For example, you draw something or you write something, you want to select it, zoom in or zoom out, resize it or move it to the other part. You can use the select menu. And then the fourth one is erase. The menu of erase is used to, there are three options actually. You can erase manually by using the finger or the pen, digital pen, or you can use circle erase. It is to clean some area, or you can use slide clean. It is to erase the whole page. So you don't need to take too much time to erase the whole page. And then the sixth one, it is page. So if you use whiteboard, usually you only have one page, right? Or maybe in your classroom, you have 2 or 3 whiteboards. But by using IFP, you can add until 20 pages. So you can add the page here. You can go back to the previous page or the next page you wrote. The next one, you can also, in your whiteboard, for example, you need some other resources, you can insert. You can insert some picture. It can be from your device, from your laptop, or you can also insert picture from the web page directly in the IFP without using your laptop. You can add shape, you can insert table, notes, and some other tool. Now the tool here is usually used by mathematics teacher. We can use ruler, you can use, how to make semicircle and etc. There are also, you can also use dual whiteboard and web search. This is what I said before. You can use the tool to draw something or to help you to build some geometrical shape. Now, this is one of the advantages also by using IFP. You can have dual whiteboard menu. So it's like split screen. So you can invite the students, maybe 2 teams. You can ask the students to come in front, 2 teams in the same time, and you can ask them to write together. But the 2 screen here have different features. Jadi misalnya yang sebelah kiri mau pakai warna hijau, yang sebelah kanan mau pakai merah, itu bisa. It can be used for your games or for answering question or for practice or maybe to to do some competition. Bisa dimanfaatkan untuk kompetisi misalnya atau group work, so they can write in the same time. And then as I said before, you can use web search, bisa langsung mencari informasi langsung dari website. The last, talking about the setting. Actually, if some of you already use it, I'm sure many of you already know some setting. There are some setting here. The first one is whiteboard setting. You can use brush effect. Multi here use, misalnya mau 20 orang maju bareng-bareng menuliskan brainstormnya, menuliskan kata-kata yang ada di kepala mereka, langsung maju 5-6 orang maju bersama-sama, bisa di turn on the multi ya. So you can turn it on and many students can come together and write their ideas. And then smart shape. Nah, smart shape is used for, if you turn it on, so it can, change directly your shape into standard graphic. Misalnya membuat lingkaran, bentuknya tidak terlalu rapi. Kalau dinyalakan smart shape-nya, maka akan langsung menjadi lingkaran yang utuh atau yang sempurna. Nah, don't worry for teachers who are not really, if you are beginner to write IFP like me before, if I write on the IFP, some of my writing maybe look messy, ya enggak? Mungkin di tahap awal tulisannya nggak kelihatan, nggak terlalu jelas atau agak berantakan. You can turn it on. Bisa dinyalakan mode yang ini, Standard Word Transcription. Kalau dinyalakan, maka yang terjadi adalah tulisan yang tadi messy atau tidak terlalu rapi akan berubah seperti tulisan ketikan gitu ya, seolah-olah as if you are typing. Itu. And then you can also change the setting, change the background in the whiteboard, pen written mode, dan sebagainya. You can explore yourself in your school. Nah, this is also the next advantage, everybody, of using IFP. If you finish your class and then you want to share the file or the writing on the whiteboard, you can save it. There are 3 types of saving. The first one, you can save it into IWB file. You can edit it again next time. The second one, you can export it as PDF. It means that you can save it in your laptop, you can save it in your cloud, and then you can share it to the students. And then the last one, you can save it by using QR code sharing. If you touch this, so the students can save or can see directly your writing from their mobile phone or from their gadget. That's it. Now, how to turn on the annotation ya, teachers. Besides using whiteboard, you can also use annotation or annotating. Kalau tadi kita pakai whiteboard, sometimes we can do the presentation. We already prepare PowerPoint or Canva or something like that. You can open it in the IFP. And then you want to write something. Mau menambahkan tulisan penting atau mau di-highlight. You can use 5-finger menu. Di situ ada annotate di sebelah sini ya. You can find the annotate menu. Ini untuk menampilkan annotation feature. Jadi bisa langsung menuliskan di presentasi yang sudah kita share. Nah, these are the sources that you can use. Tadi ada yang mengatakan sudah pernah pakai Type-C. You can also use HDMI. Or you can use computer directly, and you can also use screen share. Now, screen share, of course, you need to download and install the application first before you share it to your IFP. Students also can use this, so they don't need to plug something. They just need to download an application in their mobile phone. Maybe they want to do some presentation in their mobile phone. They can just connect their phone to the IFP using this screen share. Okay, that's it for the materials. The first session, yeah, the first session. I hope that it gives you a little bit introduction, especially for you who never used it before. Or maybe so far, do you have any question? Or maybe it's clear enough for everybody because many of you already use it.
Questions, ladies and gentlemen? Directly ask to Mrs. Tia, please.
No, ma'am.
No? Okay, if you have no question, so actually I have one Kahoot quiz. Is it okay for me to invite you to join the quiz? Okay, so over here, actually, talking about the function of whiteboard in IFP. If you have no questions, so let me just continue to the second part. Talking about the time efficiency. Let me continue to the next materials. The second one is how to make English lesson joyful with IFP. In the first session, I just introduced some of the features and now how to use it or how to make it joyful for English lesson. The first one, of course, we can use the whiteboard involving the students. So not only us as teacher who present, but ask the students to do the presentation or ask the students to write. You can ask the students to do brainstorming. You can ask them to answer the question or write something else for the further discussion. The second one, you can also utilize audio and videos. As we can see before, it has the function of projector, right? So you can invite students to do singing and moving along during the warm-up. So usually in the morning or after break time, the students get sleepy, right? Yeah, some students may get sleepy, sometimes they get bored. So we can invite the students to sing and move along during the warm-up or maybe for the ice breaking, especially using English songs to make them more engaged into English lesson. And then you can also use it to review some vocabulary. Like me, sometimes I use songs containing some vocabulary that our class is still discussing. And then you can also use audio and video for delivering materials such as from YouTube video or your own video. We can also utilize it for listening practice. Now, you can use some movies, you can use some songs to listening practice. Nah, this is one of the activities from YouTube. Nah, I sometimes use this or this kind of YouTube video for warm up. I invite all the students to move together and follow what is played in this video. So everybody, I invite everybody here, all teachers, to join the movement in this video. Are you ready, everybody? Okay, in this video, I invite all the students to move together and also reviewing some of the verbs in this video. I ask them to run, I ask them to move their body. By using IFP, they can see the video and they can do the action as written or as played in the video. Okay, now let me continue. The third feature that we can use is split screen. This is the one that I mentioned before, enable two students or two groups to write in the same time. It is use like the common whiteboard actually. And then the next one, by using annotation. Dear teachers, we can use the 5-finger menu that I mentioned before to write, to draw, or to highlight on the presentation display. So in this picture, I show you one of the experience I did in my English lesson. First, I asked the students to write their experience. It was about recount text, yeah. I asked them to write their experience using Padlet. And then some students already show their work and it can be seen on the screen together. Now, I use annotation to give comment or give feedback on the students' work. Not only me, but actually I usually invite all the students in the classroom to discuss together. So which one is orientation, which one is event, something like this. So I invite them to discuss. It can be about the structure of the writing, it can be about the grammar, it can be about the sentence structure. So we can give a comment or we can give feedback directly on their students' work. Next, we can also use drag and drop activities. Nah, as some teachers in the Mentimeter before mentioned, you sometimes use games, right? Now, in the common projector and in the common projector, you usually share the QR code, right? Or maybe you just share the link to the group of the students. But by using IFP, you can directly invite the students to come in front one by one or group by group to answer the question and to do the quiz. They can touch by themselves the touchscreen IFP. You can use it for matching pictures to words, to categorize vocabulary, to order story segments, labeling parts of the text, arranging scrambled words into a sentence. And there are so many activities that you can use by using drag and drop and touch feature in the IFP. And then the last one, almost the same as previous. You can use interactive games and real-time competitions. Teachers, I'm really sure that many teachers here have experience to use many application of games or quiz or interactive games. So by using IFP, the students can do the competition directly. They can answer directly by touching the button. What application do you usually use? Kahoot, Playground, Mentimeter, WordWall, Padlet, Educaplay, or even AI Canva. Before that, I heard some teachers use Bamboozle. It is also the application that is useful and can be used for making English learning joyful, of course. Now, this is one of the application that we can use from WordWall. There are many options that we can use. Anagram, you drag the letters. This can be used for vocabulary building. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel is used for spinning, like the one that I did before in a simple past tense lesson. So I invite students to come in front together. I ask them to spin the wheel. And every time there is a verb, I ask the student to mention what is the past tense of that verb, or etc. It can be used to build the vocabulary or you can use it also for grammar practice. There are also some menu here that you can use, like open the box, like a quiz, unjumbled, almost the same like anagram, matching pairs, and match up, flashcard, complete sentences, and etc. We can choose the one that is useful for you or match to your student's character. This one, Kahoot. Kahoot, you can use it for a quiz. Maybe you are familiar with this. You can make a quiz, true, false, typing answer, and etc. Educaplay. This is also one of the application or web page that you can use to make games in English learning. There are some options here like lineup. It's almost the same like correct. You put the words into correct order. True, false, froggy jump, map quiz, matching, and etc. You can explore later on. Crossword puzzle or word search puzzle, it is also two options that you can use to build their vocabulary. Unscrambled words to enable students to arrange sentence, writing, and some other features. It's almost the same, yeah. Next one is Playground or quizzes. Yeah, we usually call it quizzes. It also has almost the same features as Kahoot. Nah, next, using QR code and browser. As I mentioned before, teachers, you can share the link using IFP. For example, for the online games, you can just share the QR code and browser. Or you can also use it for online quiz, browse the materials directly in the IFP, for polling, brainstorming, practice, and even to do the reflection. This is also one of the feature that we can use. Maybe you can share the result of your writing on the whiteboard by using QR code so the students can reread it again or learn it again on the next occasion. Next, talking about Rumah Pendidikan. The government also provided us one of the web Rumah Pendidikan. Over here we can find some learning resources. Di sana selain ruang GTK ya, ada juga sumber belajar untuk ruang murid. Ada juga beberapa fitur atau sumber-sumber belajar yang bisa kita manfaatkan. So, have you explored before Rumah Pendidikan? Yeah, so maybe you haven't tried it, but later on you can explore Rumah Pendidikan. It is, yeah, one of the resources given by the government. Yeah, it is useful for us to find some resources, although it is not complete enough, but maybe we can take a look at, there are also some video inspirasi. Maybe you want to find seperti apa sih pembelajaran bahasa Inggris yang lebih menarik. Ya, ada juga beberapa di sana video inspirasi yang bisa membantu kita untuk menemukan how to arrange English lesson more joyful. Okay, let's see the conclusion ya, the conclusion from me about gamify your English classroom. So dear teachers, from all the explanation that I said before, actually I want to summarize it into 5 things ya. English learning are usually talking about 4 skills, 2 productive skill and 2 receptive skill, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Now, we can do it collaboratively actually. And I suggest you to gamify your English classroom, especially using IFP or using your common whiteboard or using your common projector or LCD, it's okay. The first one, let us improve our students' vocabulary by having some games like Scrabble, crossword puzzle, word search, matching picture to the word to the vocabulary, and etc. In the application or in the web page that I mentioned before, you can find some online games that you can use to make some vocabulary building for your students. And then the second one, I suggest you to learn through songs or movies. So of course, you have to find and choose the best song or the appropriate song or movies related to your materials that you are delivering. And then the third one, to improve their reading, you can do something like combat reading, role playing, interactive quiz, and etc. And for writing, we can invite the students not directly write. Of course, what happened in my school is the students find it difficult when I ask them to write. Yeah, sometimes the students get blank. Okay, student, please write your experience. And then say, apa ya Bu yang harus ditulis? Nulis apa ya? Nah, how to solve this problem? We can do guided writing, teachers. Maybe later I will show you one of the guided writing that I practice to my with my students. You can invite them also to do collaborative writing. Or before we ask them to create a text, we invite them or train them to arrange word, arrange sentence by giving them many exposure to English language or English text before we ask them to write by themselves. Jadi sebelum meminta mereka menulis 1-2 paragraf, kita kasih mereka contoh-contoh exposure tentang teksnya dulu. Kita buat guided writingnya dulu, seperti itu. For speaking, we can do some games like tongue twister. We can invite them to do role play. drama, storytelling, guided speaking, and etc. Those are some of the tips on how to make our English learning joyful. Now, this is one of my practice in English classroom that maybe will give you example or a little bit insight on how to use IFD, interactive flat panel, to make the English lesson joyful. So, one of my lesson before, there are 3 objectives. Tujuan pembelajarannya waktu itu tentang recount text, ya, tentang unforgettable experience. It was in grade 8, ya. There are 3 objectives. Understand, identifying communicative purpose, identifying structure, and then creating. I ask the students to write a short recount text with correct structure and grammar. This is the learning flow that I did. So I ask the students to do the Mentimeter. Biasanya kalau kita masuk kelas, kita nanya, everybody, how are you today? Gitu kan. Terus mereka cuma bilang, I'm fine, thank you, and you, gitu. Ya kan? So it often happen in my lesson. But how to make them different? Saya selalu ajarkan mereka. Jawaban dari how are you today is not always I'm fine, thank you. Tapi bisa juga macam-macam. I'm great dan sebagainya. Untuk to train them to use them in their daily life or daily use in the lesson, I use Mentimeter. Jadi daripada sekedar jawabannya I'm fine, thank you, kita minta mereka untuk menuliskan jawaban yang lain melalui Mentimeter. Seperti tadi yang kita pakai di awal Zoom ini. Ada yang menjawab great, very good, very well, dan sebagainya. Second, setelah itu I use immersive warm-up from YouTube. Yang tadi ya Bapak Ibu. I invite all the students to stand up and to follow what is played in the video. Jadi tidak hanya mereka mendengarkan dari kita, tapi use their physical activity. Memang teknologi is something that make the student mager ya Bapak Ibu. Do you agree with that? Sometimes pakai HP ini, pakai nonton dari video ini. Maka yang terjadi, mereka mager, udahlah dengerin aja. No, we have to combine physical activity. Kita juga harus meminta anak-anak, ayo bergerak. One of them by using physical activity in the warm-up, in the ice breaking gitu ya. And then the third one, langkah berikutnya yang saya lakukan adalah giving essential questions. Memberikan pertanyaan pemantik. It is very important. Before we ask them to do something in our lesson, kita harus memantik dulu keingintahuan mereka. Pertanyaan pemantik yang sebelum kita masuk ke tema atau sebelum masuk ke materi. It is very important because it will make the students curious. Kenapa nih kok tiba-tiba ditanya ini? Atau dihubungkan dulu dengan their daily life context. If we connect the students, the materials into their life context, maka mereka akan lebih engage gitu. And then don't forget to do the review materials. Saya biasa menggunakan word wall seperti yang kemarin pernah saya praktekkan di sini adalah match up. Simple past tense mau nggak mau harus dihafalkan. Misalnya irregular verbs. Caranya ya tunjukkan kalau memang kalian sudah bisa, karena ini hanya review dulu ya, karena sebelum recount itu kan simple past tense, maka di review dulu menggunakan match up word wall. This one. Mana ya? Oh, belum. Oh ya nih. Review materials. I ask the students to match the picture to the past tense. Dari sini mereka otomatis mengingat lagi, oh, fell, jatuh, stood, nyanyi, dan sebagainya. I ask them to come in front. Grup ya, in groups take turn ya, orang pertama, orang kedua, dan seterusnya. It makes them to be interested, supaya mereka tertarik, tapi tidak merasa they get some pressure ya, mereka tidak merasa ada pressure untuk review materials gitu. Next, I play the video of materials from YouTube. Saya daripada kita menceritakan, kita pakai video yang menarik dari YouTube. I also made some of the materials for English lesson in my YouTube and I ask the students to watch together. We use projector or IFD. And then setelah itu saya minta I ask the students to do reading. Kalau biasanya anak-anak membaca itu rada mager ya Bapak Ibu ya. So I ask them to do combat reading. What is combat reading? What I ask the students is they work in pairs. Mereka berpasangan begitu. And then I want them to read the text. Kalau untuk teks panjang yang terjadi di kelas saya seringkali adalah teks males lah gitu ya. Does it happen to your class? I don't hope so ya. Semoga tidak seperti itu. Tapi yang terjadi di kelas saya kadang-kadang kalau lihat teks anak-anak sudah ada gitu dulu ya. Nah, what I did in my lesson is I asked the students to sit in pairs. Biasanya mereka duduk berdua-dua. And then they read aloud. Yuk sekarang baca yang keras teksnya. One student can read 1 until 3 sentence. Mereka boleh baca 1 sampai 3 kalimat pertama. Begitu dia diem, orang pasangannya itu akan membaca kalimat berikutnya. They take turn until the last sentence. Orang terakhir yang membaca itu yang menjadi losernya atau yang kalah. Bagi yang menang boleh give applause. Itu kelasnya akan sangat ramai ya. Mereka akan berlomba-lomba. Gimana nih caranya biar aku tidak baca yang kalimat terakhir. This one. Next, answering question using Kahoot. Setelah membaca, pasti ada reading comprehension. Salah satunya dengan menggunakan Kahoot. Daripada mereka berpusing-pusing riang, mereka sudah mengerjakan dulu, nanti baru dites di games Kahoot-nya atau Wayground or Quizzes or any other games that you can use. Next, setelah membaca, pasti di next meeting, tujuan pembelajaran berikutnya adalah to invite the students to write. Untuk menulis. Nah, ini juga yang menjadi salah satu PR ya buat di pelajaran di sekolah kami. Salah satunya adalah how to make students write. Silakan kalau kita guru mungkin ada yang oke, silakan buat teks recount tentang pengalaman yang menakjubkan atau yang tidak bisa terlupakan. Write your unforgettable experience. Langsung mereka krik 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 gitu ya. They find it hard to find apa ya pengalaman yang menyenangkan atau pengalaman tak terlupakan. So wanted or not, we have to use guided writing. Kita harus mengajak anak-anak untuk guided, jadi nggak bisa mereka langsung disuruh untuk menulis. Seperti apa guided writing? Let me show you. Ini yang saya pakai, yang saya coba buat dan lakukan dengan menggunakan Canva AI. Ya. Guided writing. Sebenarnya tujuannya cuma membuat murid untuk mau menulis their experience. Tapi ya mau nggak mau harus di-guide dulu supaya mereka tidak klik gitu ya. Nah, I made this using Canva AI. Banyak sekali permainan, games, atau activity yang bisa we can create using Canva AI. Ini salah satunya. Bapak Ibu bisa melihatnya? Coba saya share yang ini. This one ya. Di sini. I ask the student by giving them opening. Apa itu unforgettable experience? Coba pikirkan dulu tentang apa contohnya. Is it a big problem? What kind of story is it? Is it funny, scary, happy, surprising? Kita minta anak-anak untuk berpikir dulu, mikir dulu gitu ya. We ask them to think about their experience, their real life experience. Stuck? Try this. Kalau mereka stuck dengan ide yang pertama, coba cari yang ini. Think of a time you felt happy. Or a time you solve a problem. Or you tried something new. Mereka udah dapet ide salah satu. Ini mereka bisa klik sendiri ya. Tinggal kita share link websitenya ini. Mereka bisa melakukan activity ini sendiri di HP mereka masing-masing atau in groups ya. Nah, di sini baru kita guided writing-nya di sini. Story idea, minta mereka untuk menuliskan salah satu darinya. Possible story idea, kira-kira tentang apa yang pengen kamu ceritakan? Key conflict, Konfliknya apa sih yang ada di situ? And then genre-nya apa? Is it funny, scary, atau apa? Intinya kamu bikin ceritanya yang bagaimana, yang lucu kah, yang apakah gitu ya, temanya. And then tulis di sini judulnya apa. Akhirnya kamu setelah menimbang-nimbang, akhirnya mau milih cerita yang mana atau mau memutuskan judul cerita yang apa. Nah, this is the next guide for the students. Daripada langsung meminta mereka membuat orientation, complication, dan reorientation, maka kita akan mengajak mereka untuk memulai dari orientation dulu. Who are in the story? Siapa sih yang ada di dalam cerita itu? When and where it happened. Tulis dulu, 1-2 kata dulu deh boleh. Jadi mereka tidak langsung bikin satu paragraf. Yang ada apa Bapak Ibu kalau kita memberikan mereka tugas buat 2 paragraf tentang your unforgettable experience. What happen is mereka akan googling, mereka akan copy paste, ya enggak? I'm sure many students do this. Dan ini kan tidak benar-benar menunjukkan their skill gitu kan, tapi by using this guide orientation itu who, when, where. Mereka tulis satu kata di sini. Baru kita masuk ke story-nya. Opening-nya mau apa? Pertamanya kejadiannya apa? Set the scene. Who, where, when. Inciting incident. Apa yang terjadi? Rising action-nya bagaimana? Climax-nya seperti apa? They write, boleh tulis 1 atau 2 kalimat lah yang kalian masih ingat atau kalian mau ceritakan. Sampai dengan resolution. Dari situ baru they will write the whole the whole idea in 1 or 2 paragraph. Baru deh mereka menuliskan itu di paragraf. Setelah itu baru we can click done. Gitu. Dengan demikian they already finished their writing. Seperti itu. Jadi by using guided instruction for writing. Jadi tidak langsung meminta mereka untuk menulis satu paragraf atau satu teks gitu ya. I'm sure they will get it or find it difficult for them to write directly. Okay, let me continue to the next part. Masih ada sedikit lagi ya Bapak Ibu. Because our topic is talking about how to use IFP, let me show you that technology has some positive and negative effect. Yes, it can increase enthusiasm and focus of the students. Pas main game mereka happy. They can have better understanding through visuals. Kita kasih gambar warna yang cerah, yang menarik, yang sesuai dengan their interest. Kita ambil teks yang sesuai dengan idolnya mereka. It will we can make this more interesting for students. They will get confidence and collaboration. It encourages creativity and motivation, of course. However, remember teachers that we have also some negative effect. Technology also has negative effect. Number 1, kalau kita terlalu banyak pakai IFP atau projector, what will happen? On screen. Mereka akan menatap layar terlalu lama. Apa yang terjadi? They will get they will find it tired. Turn taking conflict. Atau mungkin ketika kita melakukan games, minta mereka untuk touch meja. Bu, saya dulu Pak, dan sebagainya. Apa yang terjadi? Mereka akan rebutan. Atau number 3, the negative effect also reduce physical activity if overuse. Jangan lupa Bapak Ibu, jangan sampai kita menggunakan IFP, projector atau apapun, tapi kita malah mengurangi aktivitas fisik mereka. Itu juga make the students makin mager gitu ya. So the benefits, kalau kita lihat benefitnya tadi sudah jelas. Easier material delivery and presentation. Tinggal klik, buka di Google, buka di ini, kita bisa temukan semuanya. More creative and varied lesson option. Betul ya Bapak Ibu? Kita harus kreatif dalam menyediakan the activities, the materials, the sources, and then enhance visual engagement. Pasti anak-anak semakin tertarik. However, it has some challenges. Tetap aja kita punya beberapa tantangan. Number one, we have to get time management and student terms. Harus mau tidak mau kita memanage waktu dan memanage kelas. Harus ada yang namanya classroom agreement, kesepakatan kelas. Jadi nanti ketika kalian belajar dalam ini harus bagaimana. Jika begini maka apa. Itu harus ditentukan dari awal supaya tidak banyak yang ribut. Bu, saya dulu Bu yang pengen maju, saya yang pengen ngerjain di depan, saya yang pengen tekan-tekan tombolnya. Itu harus ada yang namanya time management and classroom management. The second, of course, we have to handle technical issues. Seperti yang tadi terjadi pada saya, sempat saya keluar dari Zoom berapa kali sebelum akhirnya saya bisa join di sini. So we have to be ready with that. Maka kita juga harus siapkan nih yang namanya second option ya. Katanya kalau jadi guru itu bukan hanya plan A, plan B, bahkan plan C, plan D pun kita siapkan supaya apa? We are ready for any possible problems or troubles. The third one, we have to prepare digital materials effectively. Jangan sampai kita pakai teknologi, kita pakai AFP, malah kita lupa esensi dari learning English itu. Anak-anak fun, tapi mereka ternyata tidak mendapatkan apapun, atau mereka malah terlena dengan fun-nya tadi, sampai mereka lupa bahwa materi yang harus dipelajari atau dikuasai itu apa. Gitu. So the strategies for IFP effective learning. Number one, teacher preparation. Siapkan dengan baik the media and how to learn it. Second, short sessions. To reduce the addiction to the screen, use short session. Balance it with books and physical activity. Jangan lupa, misalnya kita di opening kita pakai screen. Nanti di kegiatan berikutnya, they work in groups manually. Mereka mengerjakan dari buku atau pakai worksheet gitu ya. Jadi tidak melulu menatap layar. Use short sessions. Nonton video 5 menit, nanti mereka back to their group, do something or group work. Nanti ada lagi games using screen. Balik lagi mereka ada physical activity itu. Number three, use interesting design, of course. And then the last, combine with physical activity. So that's all from me. I hope that what I already share to you today can be useful for you and give something that you can apply in your school. I hope what I share to you invite all the great English teachers here to empower English learning through creativity and interactivity. So that's all from me. If you want to share something or you want to ask something, please. So it's from me. Thank you very much, Miss Moon. I return back the time to you. Thank you.
All right. That was very amazing sharing with all of us, Mrs. Tia. Thank you very much. Me, myself, in my school, I haven't used the IFP yet, but with your sharing today, I'm sure, inshallah, I will use it to my students. In the chat box, we have Mrs. Hesti Seftiana Sari from SD Negeri Gagadwa. She asked for the prompt of Canva AI, Miss. In the chat box, Miss Hesti from SD Negeri Gagadwa. Miss, give me prompt ya, Canva AI-nya. Thank you. Katanya seperti itu.
Okay, Miss Hesti. Thank you for your question. Give me prompt-nya.
Iya, diberikan prompt-nya katanya nih, Miss. Bagaimana, Miss?
Actually, it is a collaboration between the idea of AI and our creativity. Before I create this, yang tadi saya pakai Canva AI itu nggak langsung truk sekali langsung muncul ide AI itu. But first I use what is it? Guided. The first prompt is actually I usually combine some AI. To be honest ya, ini lebih ke praktis aja ya.
Ya, lebih praktis
How
aja,
to
Miss.
use Canva AI. Kalau Canva AI, I'm really sure every teacher here maybe already familiar with this ya. Tapi caranya gimana? First, I sometimes combine some AI karena AI itu sebenarnya we cannot be replaced by AI, right? Sometimes I ask ChatGPT, sometimes I ask apa namanya DeepSeek ya. DeepSeek is bahasanya lebih educational sih kayaknya ya. I sometimes ask DeepSeek. Jadi gini misalnya, I am English teacher, I want to create a activity for writing. Please give a prompt to make guided writing. Itu nanti dari ChatGPT atau dari DeepSeek itu nanti akan muncul tuh promptnya. Tinggal kita pindahkan ke Canva AI. Lalu adjust some of the part that is that we need to adjust gitu. Jadi nggak semua. Jadi kita tanya dulu ke ChatGPT, saya mau bikin ini, tolong buatkan yang begini-begini atau intinya adalah saya mau buat writing yang guided gitu ya, guided writing untuk mengajarkan materi tentang recount text misalnya atau lebih spesifiknya about my unforgettable experience. Saya pengen murid saya gitu ya. Mungkin dia nanti akan munculkan jebret gitu ya, panjang gitu. Mana yang perlu di-adjust itu baru buatkan prompt untuk Canva AI gitu. Baru saya pindahkan ke Canva AI. Jadi nggak kita sendiri yang mikir, dibantu sama AI yang lain. From AI to AI kali ya. Itu Miss siapa tadi?
Miss Hesti, Miss. Dari SD
Hesti.
Negeri Gaga
I
2
hope
ya.
my answer is helpful for you. Sudah cukup menjawab belum tuh?
Ya, Mrs. Hesti, I hope jawaban dari Mrs. Tia sudah membantu Miss Hesti atas pertanyaannya. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please use the raise hand icon on your screen. And Mrs. Tia will answer your question related to the topic of today. Yang berhubungan dengan topik kita hari ini. Questions? Bapak, Ibu? Pada kemana ini? Where have you been?
Rawan sih ya kayaknya.
Oh, Miss Aulia Sari. Okay, from Miss Aulia Sari. Miss, is there any is there any advice to improve the student vocabulary?
Okay. To improve students' vocabulary, this is one of the challenges for us ya, especially for us who teach in sekolah negeri ya. It happens the same as my students. Many of my students have lack of vocabulary. Tips sekali ya Bu ya, bukan advice. Kalau advice itu kesannya saya kok ngerti gitu ya. Maybe just to share my experience, how to make them wanted or not, we can use maybe talking about one topic ya, maybe talking about one topic. And as teachers, of course, we know some of the vocabulary that can be useful for our students. Jadi kita bisa mengelis dulu kosakata apa sih yang biasanya dipakai atau biasanya di dalam buku teks bahkan sudah ada yang namanya apa tuh? List of vocabulary atau glossary ya. We introduce the students to them. Kita tidak hanya sekedar mencoba ya, mungkin sebelum reading atau sebelum writing itu we introduce them to the vocabulary. Kita baca dulu tuh vocabulary-nya atau ask the students to find out some difficult vocabulary. Kita bahas bersama. And then wanted or not, the students must learn it. And how to learn it? Gimana caranya biar mereka belajar? Ada beberapa guru yang biasa minta mereka untuk menghafalkannya. Kalau mereka ngafalin ya mau nggak mau karena anak sekarang if you have no vocabulary what will happen? We cannot write anything, we cannot speak anything. Kalau masalah grammar it's okay ya, mereka salah-salah dikit kalau saya ya. I always say to my students nggak masalah salah grammar, yang penting you know the vocabulary. Yang penting secara toh orang bule itu nggak harus secara grammar harus bener banget. Yang penting your vocabulary. English is for communication. Jadi mau nggak mau memang vocabulary-nya yang ditingkatkan. Maka yang sering saya lakukan adalah ask them to learn. Dan how to make it interesting bisa tadi dengan beberapa cara yang tadi ya Bu ya. Ada beberapa there are some games application that we can use. Bisa at home, bisa at school ya. Kita kasih mereka practice kayak materi tentang apa ya salah satunya. Misalnya holiday gitu ya, talking about holiday. We can give them some games. Games pun tidak harus kita sendiri yang create. Kita mau googling pun sebenarnya banyak sekali games. Tadi di beberapa aplikasi yang saya sampaikan sebelumnya, di itu juga banyak sekali. Itu ada banyak sekali. Kita tinggal tuliskan topiknya apa, holiday gitu. We ask the students to do it as a practice or as a homework mungkin. Jadi tidak melulu hanya menghafalkan, tapi PR-nya dibuat yang fun gitu. Match up between the vocabulary and the picture. Jadi teknologinya tidak harus selalu di sekolah. Bisa juga mereka belajarnya by using some games. Kita share link aja. Link-link tentang vocabulary yang sedang kita pelajari, misalnya tentang holiday atau tentang apa gitu ya. Kita share ke mereka. Silakan dimainkan gamesnya di sela-sela waktu kalian daripada kalian nonton TikTok, nonton apa. Itu one of the apa ya tips kali ya that we can use. Itu. And then selain menghafalkan atau match up bisa juga we ask the student to do fill in the blank quiz. Banyak sekali ya tersedia fill in the blank quiz dengan memanfaatkan vocabulary yang sedang kita pelajari. Tidak harus kita buat sendiri, cari tadi di word wall, kemudian di beberapa game application yang lain. Itu aja sih. I hope it can answer your question.
Yeah, we hope that Mrs. Aulia Sari satisfied with Mrs. Tia's answer. Okay, and we have the same question actually, Miss, from Mr. Warsito. Miss, how to make class to be fun and interesting?
Okay, thank you from
Again.
Mr. Warsito. Actually, I already mentioned ya many tips before ya, Bapak Warsito. Gimana ya? Harus mulai dari mana dulu deh? Because I already elaborated in my presentation ya, how to make English fun and interesting. Yeah, first, the most important thing is you have to get classroom agreement. Fun tapi nggak ada time apa ya nggak ada manajemen kelas yang oke juga akhirnya akan menjadi kelas yang asal fun doang. Itu nomor satu ya tipsnya. Number two tadi yang saya sampaikan adalah gamify your English learning. Boleh kali ya pakai kata gamify ya. Jadi English learning setuju nggak nih Bapak Ibu kalau saya katakan gamify your English
Maksudnya ya apa-apanya dibikin games gitu ya Miss ya.
Tapi nggak selalu loh ya, bukan berarti dari jam saya ngajar di kelas 71 itu jam 7 sampai jam 9 game semua ya, mereka akan loss of attention dan sebagainya. Makanya saya tadi bilang pertama adalah class agreement, harus ada class agreement. Yang kedua, gamify your learning. Tadi ada banyak sekali game application yang sudah saya share ya Bapak. You can use some of them, tidak harus bikin sendiri, cari saja. Mau cari topik tentang recount, gitu ya Bapak ya, Pak Warsita ya. Maybe you want to find out material about recount. Cari nih word wall, misalnya googling word wall recount text. Nanti akan banyak pilihan. Mana yang cocok buat anak-anak Bapak, diambil di situ. Number three, invite them to do physical activity. Something that is also related to their real life context. Selalu setiap kali pembelajaran itu kita hubungkan dengan konteks kehidupan nyata mereka. Gitu sih. And then the last one is invite them to be collaborative. Gitu ya. Mungkin kolaboratif itu akan lebih menarik. Jadi menggunakan role play, menggunakan games competition juga boleh, group work. Itu sih Bapak Warsito. I hope my answer is useful, or do you have something else to share?
Pak Warsito, demikian sharing dari Miss Tia. Okay, thank you Miss. Mr. Warsito reply. Okay, we have one more question Miss from Mrs. Siti Sharofah. Miss, sometimes I play games using IFP, but There are children who are introverts and don't want to be invited to the play games. How, Miss? Like, nggak bisa, Miss. Kayak gitu. Like that. How to handle it, Miss?
Oke, actually games itu kan mau benar mau salah, mereka klik 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 touch 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 gitu ya. Yang pertama dan utama tadi saya sampaikan always classroom agreement. Classroom agreement sangat penting. Misalnya kita ambil poin-poinnya be active, appreciate others. Kalau ada anak introvert, it happen also in my lesson. Caranya mungkin tips dari saya, mungkin Bapak Ibu yang lain boleh ya nanti menambahkan pengalamannya. Salah satu tips dari saya adalah ada classroom agreement dulu that we have to appreciate every student in this class. Kalau nanti temennya salah, jangan sampai ada yang memberikan menyalahkan, mentertawakan atau apa. Apalagi kalau IFD ini kita pakainya games, I'm really sure. Mau itu jawabannya benar, mau salah, apalagi kalau yang bentuknya match up, cuman klik 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 atau touch pindah ke sini pindah ke sono. Anak salah pun juga untuk tahap awal kan kita pakai gamification-nya yang model begitu ya, yang isi-isi gitu dulu. Saya yakin kalau untuk main games mungkin tidak banyak yang malu kali ya, atau kita tentukan nih aturan dari awal juga. Nanti you are going to work in groups, grup 1, grup 2. Stand in line, berdiri secara bergantian. Jawab pertanyaan pertama nanti orang pertama, mau nggak mau orang kedua harus menjawab pertanyaan berikutnya. Jadi mereka jalan gitu muter. Jadi once again memang kelas manajemen ya yang ini untuk anak yang introvert ya. Salah satu gamification ini manfaatnya adalah untuk membuat anak yang shy tadi itu to be active ya. I hope it can help.
Okay, Mrs. Siti Sharofa, we hope that it helps the answer from Mrs. Tia. Karena memang setiap anak didik kita unik-unik ya, Bapak Ibu ya. So, kita kan mencoba untuk engage semua student to have the same rights and the same chances in the class. We have, kita semua, saya yakin semua Bapak Ibu di sini sudah mempunyai metode-metode yang terbaik ya, Miss Tia.
Betul,
Insya
of
Allah.
course. Ini teachers di sini lebih master kok dari saya. I'm sure. I just share my experience, tapi ternyata pertanyaan dari Bapak Ibu ini luar biasa loh. Jauh lebih
Iya.
menginspirasi loh.
Iya. Terima kasih katanya Miss dari Miss
you're
Siti
welcome.
Sharofa. We give the chance for more questions or should be enough, Miss Tia?
I think if there is no more question, so it means that it's very clear. Atau mungkin Bapak Ibu sudah mantap banget nih. Berarti next time mulai minggu ini langsung pada berebut pakai IFD nih kayaknya.
Iya.
I hope so.
AFP-nya 1, muridnya banyak gitu ya.
Nah, maybe that is technical question ya, technical question. I got this material actually from pendampingan dari BPMP actually. So there is also that question. IFD di sekolah saya hanya 1, Bapak Fasil. Terus kami ada 28 kelas.
Wow,
Mana ini?
amazing.
How? Katanya gitu kan.
Iya.
Maka kami berdiskusi dari audiens di sana berdiskusi. It is better for us to make schedule.
Schedule
apa
ya.
ya, dijadwalkan
Iya,
ya.
betul.
Mungkin hari ini untuk kelas 81, jadi semua guru bukan ke gurunya yang dijadwal. Kalau manfaat dari Kemendikbud kan kalau tidak salah manfaat dari AFD ini biar dipergunakan sebanyak-banyaknya untuk kepentingan murid. Jadi bukan biar gurunya enak, bukan dijadwalin gurunya, tapi mungkin dijadwalkan kelasnya. Jadi hari ini biar semua kelas, misalnya kayak di sekolah saya itu ada berapa? 24 kelas, 24 rombel. Jadi misalnya hari ini full nih kelas 81 di ruangan ini. Kalau ada guru yang mau pakai silakan, ini spesial buat 81. Hari berikutnya buat 82 dan sebagainya. Jadi semua anak itu pernah ngalamin loh pegang-pegang IFD. Mereka pernah ngalamin gemeterannya mereka nulis di IFD gitu. Jadi jangan sampai nanti anak-anak kita udah pernah pakai papan digital di sekolah yang dari Pak Menteri belum. Jadi we don't use the what is that? We don't function we don't use the function ya effectively, itu aja sih. Kalaupun gamification tidak pakai IFD bisa juga kita minta mereka menggunakan projector yang mereka main pakai HP mereka atau mau pakai barcode itu ya yang mereka naikkan jawaban mereka dan sebagainya. Itu sih.
Okay, I hope it helps, yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if there is no other questions, ada questions lagi, Bapak Ibu? I think it's enough, ya, Miss?
Enough, I think.
Yeah, because there is no more in the chat box questions. Insya Allah nanti link presensi nanti akan di-share di chat box ya, Ibu Bapak. So please stay tuned in the chat box. Okay, sepertinya tidak ada lagi questions. Thank you very much, Mrs. Elizabeth Aditya from SMP Negeri 4 Curug, Miss.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
your sharing today. The knowledge, I hope your sharing today can be useful for all of us and to be a student center. Dan lagi-lagi teknologi bukan menjadi kita untuk mager, anak-anak juga tidak selamanya untuk mager, tapi kita harus mengcombine ya Miss ya dari apa yang sudah di-share oleh Miss Tia tadi. Semoga kita semua dapat mempraktekannya langsung nih besok. Jangan sampai rebutan, tapi di jadwal nanti ya insya Allah. Amin. Oke, Miss from Bapak Muhammad Dahori, SMP Negeri 1 Gunung Kaler. I'm sorry I was able to join. Oh, oke. Nggak apa-apa, Mr. Dahori. Nggak apa-apa. Nanti insya Allah materialnya juga nanti di-share. Oke. Terima kasih banyak, Mrs. Tia, untuk sharingnya hari ini.
Welcome.
Benar-benar
Thank you very much, Bapak.
saya menjadi gelas kosong hari ini. Dan Alhamdulillah gelas itu sudah terisi sekarang. Thank you very much. Oke, untuk daftar hadir sudah di-share di chat box ya, Bapak Ibu. Dan nanti insya Allah akan mendapat e-certificate yang nanti akan di-share langsung ke email Bapak Ibu semuanya. Alright. Before we end this webinar, please semuanya kita take a photo session terlebih dahulu, Bapak Ibu ya. Take a photo session first.
Please
Please
turn on
give
your camera.
Yeah, please turn on your camera. Please turn on your camera, everybody. Ya, Ibu Bapak, tolong di-on semuanya kameranya dulu. Apakah sudah di-on semuanya?
Sudah di-on.
Please on your camera, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, the first page. Pak Yogi.
Oke, ini sudah on kamera belum ini, Miss? Wah, ini sepertinya kameranya pada di-close semua ini.
Masih pada di-off kan nih?
Iya, masa pada di-off ini. Please, ladies and gentlemen, all the teachers, please on your camera. Masih pada di-close nih. Masih pada di-close. Hello.
Okay, let's start.
Okay, let's start. Give your best pose, ya, Bapak Ibu, and give your best smile. I will count on 3. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Okay. One more time, ya, Miss Tia.
Yeah.
One more
Page
time.
2. There are 2 pages. Page 2,
Okay,
1, 2, 3.
Okay, cheese. All right.
Thank you very much
All
for your time,
right.
Bapak Ibu. It's
Okay.
nice to be here today. I really also learn from all of you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Mrs. Tia, for your sharing today. And I hope semua Bapak Ibu di sini insya Allah bisa mempraktekkan ilmu yang sudah kita dapat hari ini. Dan dari Miss Aulia Sari, next time maybe we can make conversation in English to influence our English speaking skill. Yes, at least among English teachers lah dulu ya Bapak Ibu ya di sekolah kita masing-masing. At least we practice our English speaking among English teachers aja dulu ya, insya Allah. And then why not kita juga bisa practice speakingnya dengan anak-anak. In the morning itu kalau mereka sampai greet, how are you Miss? How are you today? Good morning. Itu sangat-sangat senang sekali saya. Mungkin Bapak Ibu juga merasakan hal yang sama. Oke, daftar hadir sudah di-share di chat box ya, Ibu Bapak. Oke. Terima kasih sekali lagi untuk Ibu Elizabeth Aditya untuk narasumber kita hari ini. Alright, terima kasih ya Bapak Ibu. We hereby officially close today's webinar by saying Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Terima kasih sudah bergabung di webinar kita hari ini dan insya Allah kita akan bertemu lagi di webinar-webinar selanjutnya. With all my respect, if I do apologize if there are so many mistakes I made. I would like to take my leave. Thank you very much, everybody. And we'll see you again in the next chance. All right, Mrs. Vika. Thank you very much.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.